your heart. It's like a memory.
Welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited because I'm finally sitting down and filming the eye makeup look that I have been obsessed with for the past 2 months. I am using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette that originally I can honestly say I wasn't obsessed with when it first came out, and then I saw a bunch of looks that other makeup artists were doing and kind of fell into it and was like, well, let's try it out, and I have not been able to put this palette down. Literally since it has been released, this is the only palette that I want to use. It's the only palette that I travel with, and it's just perfect. When you open up the palette, you will see that it has amazing transition shades, amazing pops of color, and even depth shades and shades that you can use to bring out the inner corner of your eye and highlight with. It's just got everything in here. This is a great palette for if you're just starting out with makeup, because you'll be able to do very basic looks and dramatic looks. This palette is really just everything in one. So I 100% just dying for this right now. I'm gonna stop blabbing about this palette. Let's get into the tutorial now. I just have to apologize for this little mark right here. My spray tan is wearing off, and tomorrow I'm getting a new one, and I just haven't gotten around to like fully scrubbing it off, so I have this little mark right there. Okay, so to start off, I'm going to use 2 primers. I'm going to use the Smashbox Photo Finish Water Primer and the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. I like to use the water primer first. I have really dry skin, and this just helps moisturize. Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer is my favorite, just because it just really evens out your skin and makes it such a good blank canvas for your foundation. My skin still kind of feels dry though. I'm going to throw in some of the Josie Maran Milk Serum right now, just because my skin is so ridiculously dry. This stuff will moisturize the heck out of your skin, so if you're using it before foundation and makeup application, only use like a tiny bit, otherwise you're going to be an oily mess. Girl, you're going to be an oily mess. Okay, so for foundation, I'm going in with 2 different foundations. One is a little bit too yellow on me, and the other is a little bit too beige, so I'm hoping that they just kind of figure themselves out a little bit. And I should probably tell you what they are, but this is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation. I'll have all of my colors and everything, as always, down in the description bar. And then this one is the one that's a little bit too yellow on me, and then I'm going to go in with the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation in Shell Beige, and this one is a little bit too beige on me. For concealer today, I'm going in with the Makeup Forever Full Cover Camouflage Cream, and this is waterproof. Wow, I just read that. I didn't know that. This is in the shade, what are you, 4? That's what it's looking like, guys. That's what it's looking like. And then to blend out everything and highlight, I'm going in with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in the shade Light Warm. I really love the Makeup Forever Full Coverage Concealer. This stuff, nobody ever talks about this, and I found this by accident actually. I went to go get the HD concealer that had just come out a little while ago, and bought this accidentally instead. Tried it because I was traveling and had literally no other concealer, and loved it. Like, it's just so pretty, and it really covers, and it doesn't crease, and it's waterproof, which is perfect for the summer. It doesn't wear off. It's just, it doesn't dry like powdery. You know how some of them, sometimes they dry powdery and then it just like the creasing just goes to. I'm going to set my under eyes with the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. So I'm baking right now, which is a form of just putting on this powder really heavily and leaving it there, what that's going to do is kind of melt in the concealer and seal everything in so that it just wears longer and it ends up looking so much more airbrushed and beautiful. My current favorite bronzer is this Makeup Forever bronzer. The number kind of wore off on the bag, so I don't know what it is. I will look in my Sephora purchases and see what color I bought. I'm gonna have to go back like literally a year though, because I've loved this stuff for so long. It's so good. This bronzer in the summertime is honestly so perfect because it's that perfect blend between sun-kissed but not too orange and not too beige. A lot of bronzers in the summertime when I am spray tanned and they're beige make me look so muddy and just kind of dirty. This has the perfect amount of orange and what do you call it, brown in it, and it just, I don't know, it makes your skin look healthy and alive. So I'm taking that on a MAC 135 brush. I used to be obsessed with this brush for bronzer, and honestly I am not that obsessed with it anymore. If I forget to say any of the brushes that I'm using, I'll list it down below. This is definitely gonna have to be blended out. Another trick that I like to do with my bronzer is I take it and I throw it on the bridge of my nose right here, because it just is how the sun would come down, you know, naturally on you. Just makes you look more sun-kissed. If you ever go too heavy on your bronzer like I just did, all you have to do is take, this is, I don't know, just a random big fluffy brush and blend it out. I am contouring with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit color in Fawn, and I'm taking that on a NARS Ita brush. We're gonna hit from the top of where your ear is to this corner of your lip. This is so bad, but recently I've been so sloppy with my contouring just because I cleaned it up with setting powder later. Before I ever cleaned up, I guess, my face with setting powder, I would always be so precise and so perfect with it. Now that I know how to clean up my contour, I'm like, just throw it on there, slap it on there. This side and up onto the forehead. Now, if you have a proportionate face, you don't have to contour as hard as I am on your forehead, but I have a pretty heart-shaped face, so it's smaller right here, so I try to bring the top parts of my face in a little bit more to make everything look just a little bit more proportionate. If you have a small forehead, you want to stay away from doing this technique. Don't bring your contour in as much. Leave it out here so that your forehead ends up looking bigger, you know? Now for the nose contour, I'm going to use the same shades, and I'm taking this Morphe M208 brush. So when I'm contouring my nose, I start all the way up at my eyebrows and I bring it straight down, and I stop right here and I bring it out a little bit. And then I just take the contour shade and put it on the bottom of my nose, because I like my nose to look a little bit more lifted, and not that I have like a huge nose, but I like it looking a little bit more cute and buttony. Just blend it out. You can use any brush to blend this out. I like using a smaller fluffy brush like this. I'm going to clean up this contour by putting the setting powder underneath where I had originally put everything before, because you really shouldn't have your contour come too low. So right here should be good. And then I bring this setting powder all the way over here onto my mouth area, because of the fact that I make so many weird facial expressions and I'm talking a lot during the day, and it ends up creasing, and I just like the way it looks when I have a beard on. Then let's just do the same thing over here Bring it down. This area right in here creases so bad for me. Sometimes like it creases worse than my eyes crease, and I think that it's just because I yak and yak and yak and yak and yak and yak like way too much. I am a diehard, love the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in soft brown. I can use medium brown. Sometimes I use both if I want to, you know, blend everything in. I personally think that the Brow Wiz is just the way to go, you know? It's smaller, it lets me get everything exactly how I want it, and it allows me more control. Okay, let's move on to the eyes. So what I'm going to do is take a big fluffy blending brush, dip it in burnt orange, and blend away in the crease bone. Now I have a really big crease bone. If you can tell, there's a ton of space in between the end of my eye and my eyebrow. So my transition shade has to go up a lot higher than most people's. Do the other side. I am taking a smaller blending brush. It is the Morphe M433, and I am kind of connecting that blended out transition shade and bringing it down. And I'm taking burnt orange, same shade, and just creating kind of a halo effect around my eye. I'm taking this shade Love Letter on an M441 brush. This is a more tapered blending brush, so you can get more precise, but it's not super small. So if you don't have a lot of space in between your eyebrow and the outer corner of your eye, you might want to use an even smaller brush than this, but for my eye shape, this is perfect. When I'm using such a bright shade like Love Letter, I tend to go in very light-handed at first and build up to work my way to get to where I want it to look. Building and blending. Don't be afraid of this bright shade. This type of Love Letter shade is really going to complement every single eye color. If you have blue, green, brown, hazel, gray, it is such a universal shade that even though it looks very bright in the pan, it's gonna look so beautiful when you blend it out on your eyelid. I'm taking that smaller blending brush that we were using to wrap around the burnt orange, and I'm taking Love Letter on it and doing essentially the same thing, but not blending as much. So a little bit more direction, a little bit more control. Just put it in the outer V. Now I'm going to take this beautiful brown shade. This has got to be my favorite brown I've ever worked with as a makeup artist, ever, hands down. And it is this Cypress Umber shade right up here. It's not too red, it's not too purple, it's not too anything, it's just brown. I'm taking the Cypress Umber shade on a Morphe M433 brush and blending it into the crease very carefully, very lightly, and a little bit over toward the center. So when I blend the darker shades, I bring them out pretty far and wrap around again, but I don't bring it as far in as I bring the other two brighter shades. Then I'm just going in with any blending brush now and blending them all together. You really probably don't have to be this crazy about blending, but I am. I'm taking the M167 brush, my favorite packing brush, dipping it in Primavera pretty generously on the inner corner all the way into the corner of my eye. Okay, to highlight the inner corner of my eyes, I am going in with the shade Vermeer. We're gonna go with it. But I'm doing something a little bit unique. I am highlighting the inner corner of the lower part of my eye because we brought down the gold pretty high. So right underneath your eye, instead of the entire thing, I'll let the gold be on top top and this Vermeer shade be on the bottom, and I think it just opens up your eyelid so much. I'm going to do my winged eyeliner off camera right now because I am in a huge rush right now and it takes me forever to do my winged liner on camera. So give me a second. I'm using my absolute favorite lashes today. These are Mykonos by Lily Ghalichi Lily lashes. They're they're so good. I'm going to apply them with the House of Lashes lash glue. This is by far my favorite lash glue ever. I used to be on that duo train and then I tried this stuff. Yeah, I'm never going back. These guys on there. Now looking at this look, I really like how it's coming out, but I want to add some black eyeliner to the lower lash line. Alright, let's finish the face. I am going to be using this palette by Morphe for blush. This is the 9N palette. We just need to take a second because I love this palette. I'm not a big blush person, but this palette just takes the cake. I mean, I saw this when I was in Las Vegas for the International Beauty Trade Show. Give me 15, please. I'm going to use this shade out here and the center one mixed together. To line my lips, I am using the Model Co. lip liner. I have no idea. I'll put it down below. It's literally, it doesn't say it on here. Now, I personally overline the out of my lips because I guess you can't really talk while you're lining your lips, huh? I love huge, voluminous lips. If you don't, I totally understand. You do you, girl. I'm gonna overline my lips. Okay, now that we're done with that, I'm going to go in with Jeffree Star's liquid lipstick in Mannequin and fill it in. Because the eye look has some orange in it, I'm going to take Reezy by Lipland and put it in the center because this is more of an orangey nude. And it will just add a little bit of dimension to like a mauvey pink lip. Okay, now for highlighter, I'm going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills So Hollywood Illuminator on the cheekbones, on the nose, over the lip, a little bit on the chin, a little bit over the brows. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this makeup tutorial. I am so obsessed with this look. Oh, if you do try out this makeup look, make sure to tag me, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!